Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weekly Buddhist news in English on Pursuit Online channel. There are 9 major news of the week. Ho Chi Minh City, opening for conference on Standing Committee for the Executive Council. Hanoi, Sangha Central Office in reception of Cultural, Education, Youth and Children Committee. Hanoi, Central Cultural Committee to discuss the organization of 2020 Gratitude Fiesta. Ho Chi Minh City, 29 undergraduates performed the thesis defense in Buddhism studies. Ho Chi Minh City, Thiên Tôn Pagoda to welcome the third class label medal. Bình Phước, Tỉnh Hội Pagoda held the placing first brick ceremony to build the main Buddha hall. Ho Chi Minh City, offering the bathing gown for rain shower at Gandaransi Temple. Kiên Giang, Vietnamese Buddhist Society in Korea to visit and give gifts to Phật Quang Social Charity Centers. Ho Chi Minh City, Bát Quan Chai Ashram of Phổ Quang Pagoda did sharing bowl offering to monks and nuns. And the following are the news in details. Buddhism, religions always accompanies with the people in any historical circumstances. That is achievement which was confirmed in the preliminary report of Buddhist affairs in the first 6 months of year 2020 of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha at the conference of Standing Committee of the Executive Council, which was taken place on the morning of the 7th of July 2020 at the Central Office Number 2 of the Sangha, Quảng Đức Monastery, Ho Chi Minh City.
The conference is hosted by Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of the Executive Council, and the 2 Vice Chairmen of Standing Committee of the Council, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp and Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiễu. Representatives for the government were Mr. Vũ Chiến Thắng, Head of the Government Committee for Religious Affairs, Mr. Trà Quang Thanh, Director of the Department of Southern Religious Affairs, Mr. Bùi Hữu Dược, former Director of Buddhist Department, Mrs. Nguyễn Lê Hà, Deputy Head of Department of Homeland Security, Ministry of Public Security. Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân delivered the opening speech to the conference and summarized the Buddhist activities accomplished in the first 6 months of the year 2020, which the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha has been contributing financial donation, as well as other necessities in time, as well as the issuance of plenty of official documents and circulars that guided the executive councils throughout the country to join hands in preventing and fighting against COVID-19 pandemic. After that, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha also organized great altars, humanitarian blood donation, and administrative meetings when the country resumed working with the new normal state. The spirit of solidarity and joining hands of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha and other religions has left good impression in the heart of monks, nuns, Buddhist people, and friends around the world. The following is a preliminary report on the activity program for the first 6 months and a working plan for the last 6 months of the year 2020 by the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha presented by Venerable Thích Đức Thiện and Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông. Mr. Vũ Chiến Thắng acknowledged the Buddhist achievements, which were accomplished by the Central Sangha in the first 6 months of year 2020, and finally, the monks and nuns from the Standing Committee discussed and contributed to the draft for Buddhist activity program and the pending issues and arising ones.
On the morning of the 6th of July 2020, at Quán Sứ Pagoda, Hanoi City, as reflected by the official letter note 2836/UBVH-GDTTN14, dated the 16th of June 2020 of the National Committee for Cultural, Education, Youth and Children of the National Assembly, the Sangha Central Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha received the supervision delegation and reported on some contents related to the implementation of the law on beliefs and religions.
The representatives of the Central Office of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha comprise Most Venerable Thích Gia Quang, Vice Chairman of Administration Council, Head of Information and Communication Section of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice Chairman cum General Secretary of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Thanh Huân, member of the Secretariat of the Administration Council, Vice-Chef of Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Venerable Thích Thanh Tuấn, standing member of the Administration Council, Vice-Chef of Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Venerable Thích Nguyên Chính, member of the Administration Council, Vice-Chef of Office of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Venerable Thích Quảng Tiếp, member of Administration Council, Assistant General Secretary of Buddhist Administration Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. The delegation representatives comprise Ms. Hoàng Thị Hoa, Vice Chairwoman of the committee, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Tuyết, Vice Chairman of the committee, were the representatives together with other committee members and officials from the Department of Home Affairs of Hanoi and related departments. Ms. Hoàng Thị Hoa made a number of important comments as well as the purpose of this round of supervision. She hoped that the Sangha representatives could clarify the advantages and disadvantages in the past time. After that, the representatives of the departments and agencies presented their contents and discussions so they could apprehend the report. Venerable Thích Đức Thiện highlighted some key contents in the report. At the same time, the Venerable also pointed out some difficulties. Finally, Venerable had some comments in the report to submit to the National Assembly, the government, and relevant competent agencies. On this occasion, the members of the delegation and related departments gave a number of issues for discussions as well as additional inputs into this report.
On the morning of the 4th of July 2020, at Quán Sứ Pagoda, Hanoi City, presided over by Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Administration Committee and the Nghệ Provincial Buddhist Sangha had a meeting to plan the organization of Gratitude Fiesta.
In witness, it was honored to have Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice Chairman cum General Secretary of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Thọ Lạc, member of the Secretariat of Buddhist Sangha, Head of Cultural Committee of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Permanent Vice Director of the Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Nghệ An. On the side of the government, Mrs. Trần Thị Minh Nga, Deputy of the Government Commission for Religious Affairs, and the dignitaries in the Government Committee for Religious Affairs, represented by the Voice of Vietnam Radio and the Institute for Religious Studies. At the meeting, Venerable Thích Thọ Lạc presented the main purposes of the Gratitude Fiesta 2020 to be held in Nghệ An Province. It is also the time to pray for the peaceful world, a prosperous nation, favorable rain and wind, abundant crops, disease elimination, wealthy and happy people, and stability on the borders and faraway islands. In his opinion, Venerable Thích Đức Thiện emphasized that this Gratitude Fiesta would have to focus on the content of gratitude to the homeland, while simultaneously showing the spirit of Dharma, ethnicity, highlighting the practical actions that Buddhism had contributed to the nation. Along with that, the artistic variety shows and cultural activities during the gratitude ceremony would show the intimate pastoral features, with the purpose to express the feelings of Buddhist monks and nuns in Nghệ An Province toward Uncle Ho Chi Minh. To follow the speech, Mrs. Trần Thị Minh Nga emphasized that the progression of COVID-19 pandemic was still troublesome, and the diphtheria epidemic has emerged currently to become complicated. The organizers would further consideration. Professor Nguyễn Hồng Dương, director of the Institute for Religious Studies, also had his inputs and said that there were many seminars on the topic about alcohol and Buddhism in the past. There would be more documented materials to be used on this occasion, eliciting more remarkable benefits. The representatives of the agencies also raised a number of issues and passed some suggestions for the fiesta to be fulfilled. The meeting closed in an atmosphere of congruence, reaching the consensus.
On the morning of the 6th of July 2020, at the Vietnam Buddhist University in Ho Chi Minh City, Campus 1, the postgraduate department held a master thesis defense session for Buddhist hermits, monks, and nuns.
Attending the ceremonial section, there were Venerable Thích Nhật Từ, member of the Administration Council, standing vice rector of Ho Chi Minh City, Vice Vietnam Buddhist University, Dean of the Faculty of Buddhist Philosophy, Venerable Thích Trân Minh, Vice Rector of the University, Head of the University Management, Dean of the Buddhist History Faculty. Venerable Thích Đồng Bổn, Vice Principal of Vietnam Buddhism Studies Institute, Director of Vietnam Buddhism Research Center, and its members. The dignitaries, radio students, doctoral researchers in their studying at Vietnam Buddhist University. The undergraduates conducted the thesis defense of a master's degree in Buddhism with topics such as studying the concept of reciting Buddha's nomination, Buddhist approach on the issue of domestic violence in Vietnam today, research into Buddhist Dharma relating to psychological disturbance at the student age in Ho Chi Minh City, and study of faith in the Sutta Pitaka. During the thesis defense, the undergraduates presented their thesis and simultaneously answered questions from members of the Buddhism Studies Master Thesis Defense Council. It's reported that the defense of master thesis took 3 days from July 6 to 8, 2020 to cover 24 theses of master level undergraduates in Buddhist studies in the first course, phase 3, 2017 to 2019, and 5 undergraduates who performed their thesis defense for the second attempt.
On the morning of the 6th of July 2020, at Thiên Tôn Pagoda, historical relics in Ho Chi Minh City, the reciting monks held a ceremony to receive the third-class label medal, awarded by the party's General Secretary, President Nguyễn Phú Trọng, to the monks, Buddhists, and the abbot Thích Trơn Không, who has the outstanding achievement in charitable social work from 2013 to 2017, contributing to the cause of national construction and defense.
Attending and witnessing the ceremony there were Most Venerable Thích Tịnh Hạnh, member of the Board of Directors, patron of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Ho Chi Minh City, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Đức, standing member of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Vice Director of Administration Board, cum head of Superintendent Control Board of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Trơn Không, member of the Administration Board, Vice Director of Buddhist Layperson Council from the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha in Ho Chi Minh City, Abbot of Thiên Tôn Pagoda, withstanding dignified abbots in Ho Chi Minh City, the venerable monks and nuns in the monasteries in the area, and a large number of Buddhist laypersons. The government representatives comprise Mrs. Ngô Thị Hoàng Cát, Deputy of Department of Home Affairs of the city, Mr. Lê Hoàng Vân, Deputy of Religious Affairs City, Mr. Lê Tấn Tài, Chairman of Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee of District 5, Mr. Đoàn Văn Ngọc, Deputy of District 5 Department of Home Affairs, and other leaders among the attendants in the meeting. Speaking in his opening speech at the ceremony, Most Venerable Thích Trơn Không said, during the anti-French and anti-American resistance wars, Thiên Tôn Pagoda was a revolutionary base. After the liberation of the South, the reunification of the country, monks and Buddhists of Thiên Tôn Pagoda actively participate in the movements to benefit the country and local people with many pro-humanitarian and social charity annual activities. To follow the scheduled program, Mr. Đoàn Văn Ngọc read the decision on the award, and Mr. Lê Tấn Tài presented the third-class labor medal to the monks, Buddhists, and Most Venerable Thích Trơn Không, the abbot. Most Venerable Thích Thiện Đức praised the monks, Buddhists, and the abbot Thích Trơn Không, and he expected that the monks and Buddhists of Thiên Tôn Pagoda would continue promoting what has been achieved to bring joy, benefit to sentient beings. On this occasion, the Venerable dignified lit incense to commemorate the 49th death commemoration of the great elder Most Venerable Thích Minh Đức, the late director of the Institute of Traditional Buddhism in Vietnam, who also established Thiên Tôn Pagoda and Địa Tạng Pagoda in Ho Chi Minh City.
On the morning of 7th of July 2020, at Tỉnh Hội Pagoda, Bình Phước Province, solemnly held the placing first brick ceremony to build the main Buddha Hall.
In witness, there were Most Venerable Thích Nhuần Thanh, member of the Board Patron, visit of the Executive Commission of Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of the Executive Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp, Vice Standing President of the Executive Council, Head of Central Department of Buddhist Affairs, Head of Executive Commission of Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiêu, Vice Standing President of Central Commission of Buddhist Affairs, Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông, Vice Secretary of the Executive Council, Head of Central Office Number 2, together with monks and nuns from Standing Executive Council, various specialized departments of Central Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, and monks and nuns from various cities and provinces. Representative for local authorities, there were Mr. Trần Thắng Phúc, Deputy in Charge of Local Security, Ministry of Public Security, Mrs. Lê Thị Xuân Trang, Head of Commission for Mass Mobilization, Chairwoman of Provincial People Committee of Vietnam Fatherland Front, Mrs. Trân Tuyết Minh, Vice President of Provincial People Committee, together with leaders of various departments. Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp delivered opening speech and summarized the background development of Buddhism of Bình Phước Province through term. Mrs. Trân Tuyết Minh expressed her appreciation to the contribution from the Provincial Executive Council to the affair of security, social affairs, and wished that the building of Tinh Hoi Pagoda could be accomplished soon. Delivering compassionate advices, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân wished that the monks and nuns in the province should strongly promote their solidarity and help one another. Local authorities should encourage attention, creating preferable conditions to join with a strong engagement for Buddhist followers in the region and neighboring area, so that the building of Tinh Hoi Pagoda could be accomplished before the system of the Executive Council of Bình Phước Province of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. After the incense praying, purifying by sprinkling prayer, monks, nuns, and local authority representatives have lit sticks to pray, conducted by Most Venerable Thích Giác Lim, Vice Director of Central Office Number 2 of the Sangha. It is shared that the main Buddha hall of Tinh Hoi Pagoda is being built with total area of 600 square meters. This is the main hall for monks and nuns gathering to study, practice, and doing Buddhist activities, and to pray peace for the world, and is also the masterpiece of spiritual culture for Buddhism and our people in the future. In the afternoon of the same day, Provincial Executive Council offered 420 sets of gifts to people in difficulty in the area of Dong Xoai City. Each set of gifts valued 400,000 Vietnam dong.
According to the annual common practice of Theravada Buddhism, to have monks cultivate and serve the Dharma, during the period from the 16th of May to the 15th of September of the lunar calendar, Buddhists of various ashrams make offerings of bathing gown and essential items to the monks. On the morning of the 5th of July 2020, at Kandaransi Temple, Ho Chi Minh City, a ceremony was held to offer the rain shower bathing gowns, lantern, and donation to the monks at the pagoda.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable Danh Lung, members of the Secretariat of the Administration Council, deputies of Office 2 of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, standing members of Administration Boards of Human Studies-based Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, abbess of Karandasi Temple, Venerable Châu Hoài Thái, members of Administration Council, Vice of Information and Communication Departments of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, with many venerable monks and Buddhists among the attendants. At the beginning of the ceremony, Venerable Châu Hoài Thái had a lecture to Buddhists with the theme "The Powers of Calmness." Next are the main rituals of the ceremony. The Most Venerable Abbot emphasized ran retreats in the time for monks to instill the temper, adjust, reflect, and practice the behavior to calm their minds. The Most Venerable praised the spirits of the three jewels of Buddhist men and women and wished Buddhists to achieve the five blessings of longevity, dignified continence, happiness, strength, and wisdom. Finally, it was rituals of reminiscence, food taking in the choice of the sentient beings.
On the morning of the 5th of July 2020, a delegation of the Vietnamese Buddhist Society in Korea, led by Master Nan Thích Nữ Giới Tánh, chairwoman of the Vietnamese Buddhist Society in Korea, and the Buddhist followers of Phúc An Pagoda, visited and presented gifts to the Phật Quang Social Charity Center in Kiên Giang Province.
In the welcome oneness, there were Master Nan Thích Nữ Huệ Tánh, member of the Administration Board of Provincial Buddhist Sangha, Vice Director of the Center, and the teacher in charge of the center, reciting the word of Venerable Thích Minh Nhân, Director of Phật Quang Social Charity Center. Master Nan Thích Nữ Huệ Tánh thanked the delegation for visiting and giving gifts to support the center, embracing the especially disadvantaged children. On behalf of the central management, Master Thích Nữ Huệ Tánh also gave the certificate of merit to the delegations and Buddhist followers of Phụng Ân Pagoda. The delegation presented gifts to the children by hand. At the same time, the center was supported with 10 million to have more funding to raise the camp children. On this occasion, Buddhist Trung Thi Ngọc Thúy, Ho Chi Minh City, also donated 5 million Vietnam dong. Also during the visit, Master Thích Nữ Giới Tánh and the delegation has cultural interaction with the children. The Master also instructed the children how to pay proper attention to their study and live well to become a citizen later, contributing to the nation's homeland. The delegation visited the accommodation and listened to the instruction about the Phật Quang Social Charity Center. Currently, the center is urgently completing the construction of items, including a freshwater reservoir to serve water supplied during the salinity instruction and brought, and is also building the Phật Quang Phổ Chiếu Pagoda. It is necessary to be supported by the sponsor, benefactor who can join hands to get the work done and put into operation soon.
On the morning of the 5th of July 2020, at Phổ Quang Pagoda, Ho Chi Minh City, it was solemnly organized a ceremony of offering meal and offering for the occasion of studying and practicing of Bát Quan Trai Ashram of Phổ Quang Pagoda.
In witness and participating, there were Most Venerable Thích Thanh Hùng, standing members of Executive Councils, heads of Buddhist Guidance Council, Central Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, và Abbess of Phổ Quang Pagoda. Venerable Thích Phước Nghiêm, members of Executive Council, Vice Directors of Standing Committees of Central Buddhist Guidance Council, heads of Department of Young Buddhists, Central Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, together with monks and nuns from the Executive Council, Phú Nhuận Retreat Sangha, monks and nuns who are in retreat in Phổ Quang Pagoda, and nearly 1,000 Buddhist followers. After announcement from Buddhist followers representatives, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Hùng has shared compassionate advice to all Buddhist followers and recalled the origins of traditional congregations that the Buddha led the Sangha to back from arms. Thanks to this occasion, Buddhist followers had great chance to get virtuous connection with Dharma through joyful offering, sharing things, cultivating good opportunities of Dharma through offering to the monks and nuns in retreat, so that Buddhist follower relatives can experience peacefulness, getting everything go smoothly, underlines the Buddhas, and accumulating more merit, freeing for ancestors to rebirth in high rooms. Before that, on the occasions of one-day spiritual practicing at Phổ Quang Pagoda, nearly 500 Buddhists of ashram gathered at the main hall to recite Surangama Sutra and listened to the Most Venerable Thích Thanh Hùng, the first of precept master to share the precept.
Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has signed off this weekly newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.